King 5 is calling the results in the primary race for governor. Democrat Bob Ferguson and Republican Dave Reichert are advancing to the November ballot. So far, Ferguson, has 46% of the vote and Reichert with 28%. In all races, the top two vote getters will advance to face off in the general election in November. But some primary election races are still too close to call this morning. We are tracking more than 200 races across Western Washington and 500 candidates.
Some of the biggest races include all of our congressional seats, one seat in the U.S. Senate, and of course that race for governor. This morning, over 400,000 votes still have yet to be tabulated in our state. That next ballot drop with the new numbers will come down at 4 o'clock for most counties. We have team coverage this morning, a crew on the way to Bremerton this morning to cover Congressional District 6. It's an open seat, and our Drew Andre is getting reaction on the governor's race this morning. Before that, though, let's get to Mimi at the big board this morning, breaking down some of those numbers using our new exclusive Magis technology. Mimi.
Yeah, this tool allows us, Jake, to take a closer look at some of these numbers county by county. So as we look at the governor's race this morning, you can see that Bob Ferguson has 46% of the vote by a wide margin behind Dave Reichert with 28%. If we look at the county by county as I zoom in here, King County, not surprisingly, Ferguson taking the big lead with 61% of the vote. Down in Pierce County, that margin is a lot slimmer with 38% of the vote for Dave Reichert, 40% for Bob Ferguson. We'll be looking at that county very closely as we head to November. Right now, let's get to Drew Andre, who's live at King County Election Headquarters with reaction from both Ferguson and Reichert.
Well, good morning, Mimi. Yes, we know here in King County, there's about 85,000 votes that still need to be tallied. Just very soon here this morning, that is going to resume here at the King County Elections Office as they have a lot of more work to do today before that next batch comes through. But for the governor's race right now, we are set likely with those two candidates that are moving on. Right now in the lead, as Mimi mentioned, is Attorney General Bob Ferguson, who right now holds 46% of the vote. That's an 18-point advantage over the top Republican candidate, former Congressman and former King County Sheriff Dave Reichert. Now, Semi Bird, who was endorsed by the state GOP, has 9% of the vote, but that won't be nearly enough. So now the focus narrows even more to the two candidates projected to move on.
I mean, we were the first campaign to put forward a detailed plan on public safety. And look, Dave Reichert is not the only candidate who talks about public safety. We believe our plan is one that's resonating with people all across the state. I'm looking forward to debate with Dave Reichert, talking about all issues, including public safety.
My whole plan in running for governor since the beginning has been to reach out to every voter of Washington State, and that's going to continue to be the case for us here. And I'm focused on Bob Ferguson.
And this race was the most expensive in the state. Ferguson's campaign has spent nearly $9 million so far, while Reichert has spent more than $4 million. Now back out here live at the King County Elections Office, we are expecting the next batch to come through later this afternoon as we get some more results here for the primary election. For now, reporting live in Renton, Drew Andre, King 5 News.
Drew, thanks. We'll watch that throughout the day. Also this morning, let's look at some of the congressional races from the governor's race to say Congressional District 3 this morning. A rematch of sorts in the works here between Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez, the incumbent, and Joe Kent here in the Southwest Washington District. It looks like these two will definitely be advancing forward. It's a rematch, but you can expect a kind of grudge match into November. Joe Kent last night says former President Trump called him to congratulate him on the race. Congressional District 8 to the north, a sprawling District 8. Kim Schreier poised to move to November along with Carmen Goers, a Democrat-Republican race. Kim Schreier won King County, but all of the other counties included. It's a 6-county district. Went Republican. So that should be interesting. Kim Schreier, though, definitely out ahead this morning. Congressional District 9 is another one we're watching. Adam Smith handily ahead, the incumbent here, the Democrat. But look at 2 and 3. Paul Martin, Melissa Chandry, the two separated this morning by just 900 some votes. That could change today. Will determine whether we'll see two Democrats or a Democrat and a Republican moving to November. And finally, Congressional District 6, a big one we're watching here. This goes out to the Olympic National Peninsula into Tacoma. Hillary Franz, the Public Lands Commissioner, sort of underwhelming, a lot of folks would say. Emily Randall ahead of the Democrats. Drew McEwen poised to be number 2, so the top two there. Pierce County not kind to Hillary Franz on the vote count.
And we'll be taking a closer look at that race in our next half hour. Now, with the huge lead that U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell has this morning, King 5 is calling that she will appear on the ballot with Republican Raul Garcia. The difference, 58% to 21%. Also this morning, King 5 has called the results in the primary race for State Attorney General. Republican Pete Serrano and Democrat Nick Brown will advance to November. Serrano outperforming this race with very little fundraising. Nick Brown, meantime, raised about $1 million more so far during the campaign. You can see the latest primary election results at the bottom of your screen or by texting the word results to the number right there.